What's going on, guys, and welcome to the October 13th episode of Indie Corner. I'm your host, Jason Lapine, or as some of you like to call me, Mr. Indie Corner, whatever works. So the last few weeks were quite interesting in indie news. Let's get started with our eShop updates. Starting us off is Whispering Willows on the Wii U. In this title, you take on the role of Elena, who has the ability to project her spirit outside of her body. In her spectral form, Elena can interact with the spirits that used to dwell within the walls of the sinister Willows mansion, who holds the secret to traverse the old manor. Players need to make use of Elena's corporeal and ethereal forms to overcome obstacles, solve the riddles, and find Elena's lost father. Next up lets you control a solar-powered craft in Race the Sun. The sun is your death timer. Hurtle towards the sunset at breakneck speed in a futile race against time. Delay the inevitable by catching speed boosts which reverse the setting sun. Focus on not slowing down and especially not crashing. Pump BMX Plus, which uses the mobile Pump BMX 2 as inspiration, was also released. The game sees players ride their way through increasingly challenging levels while putting off crazy and impressive trick combinations. You can choose your rider style and throw down your best stunts while racing through more than 500 challenges to reach the top of the leaderboards. Up next is Toto Temple Deluxe, which is a fast-paced local multiplayer King of the Hill style game in which players must steal an egg-laying goat from their friends and try to keep it on their own head for as long as possible. Infinitely dash in any direction to swiftly move around and powerfully headbutt the goat carrier to steal its four-legged booty. Over in Europe, players receive Starwall in all its narwhal sword-fighting glory. While a simple game, you'll still find 90+ costumes, 25+ arenas, and 5 game modes including 32 single-player challenges and a ton of multiplayer action. Also releasing in that territory was the long-awaited 1001 Spikes. Punish yourself in this 2D puzzle adventure game as you seek for the legendary treasure. 1001 Spikes is sure to surprise you with hundreds of unexpected ways to kill you. For those looking for that kind of pain on the go, the game is also available in the 3DS eShop. Over in North America, we saw Perpetual Blast. In this game, you're on a mission to destroy the radioactive containers littering the solar system. Master controlling your spacecraft in the zero-G environments and use your ship's laser cannons and missiles to destroy all containers as fast as possible. Next up, fight your way across the celestial world of Avalis, where cats are green, motorcycles drive up walls, and monster curls do most of the butt kicking. Freedom Planet is a cartoony combat-based platform adventure that pits a spunky dragonoid and her friends against an alien attack force. We also saw the release of the Match 3 game Gemology. This title offers 2 ways to play, Lapidary or Annihilation. In Lapidary, you manipulate the environments to solve puzzles and harvest gems. In Annihilation, you tap and drag stones to make the largest stone possible. North Americans also saw the arrival of the Rivers of Alice Extended Edition. This title is a point-and-click adventure in which no text or dialogue is given. You'll have to pay close attention to clues around you and the imagery in order to determine what to do next. Lastly, we had Voxel Maker, which offers players a 3D pixel-like canvas to create anything you can imagine. Place blocks and color them any way you like. Additionally, the software gives you a renderer to simulate realistic lighting and shadows. On the 3DS side of gaming, North Americans received the adventure game Cronus Arc. The story takes you on a journey to seek out the Cronus fragments in order to prepare for the once-in-a-decade time rewinding event. Alright, for project updates, I've only got some new trailers for you guys. I'm not going to show you the whole trailer, so here are just a few snippets of some new trailers. First up, we had a new trailer for Temple of Yog with a cool upbeat retro track showing much more of the game's gameplay. Next, we saw more of Momonga Pinball. This game merges the adventure genre along with classic pinball. Slam enemies, fight bosses, and clear each level using old pinball mechanics. After a long period of silence, we finally receive a new trailer for Hex Heroes. This new party-style real-time strategy game lets one person on the gamepad control various heroes, while your friends can explore, harvest, or fight as the heroes. While we still have to wait until next year for Assault Android Cactus, we received a new pumped-up trailer showing off the hectic kind of battles we can expect from the game. And now here are some new Nindie titles that were spotted over the last few weeks. First is Land of Traps, which has a beautiful look and seems to take some elements from Super Mario 3D World. The main goal of the game is to retrieve a battery on each level and bring it back at a specific zone in each map. Players can choose between 4 playable characters and will also have to fight against bosses to progress to new worlds. Heading over to the 2D world, we have Team Meat teasing us that Super Meat Boy could possibly be heading to the Wii U. Meat Boy is a 2D high-precision platformer in which you play a living slab of meat, trying to save his meaty girlfriend from the evil Dr. Fetus. Staying in the same genre, we also received an announcement that Freak Zone Games was working on an Angry Video Game Nerds 2 adventure called Assimilation for the Wii U. Fans of the first game will remember the series for its insanely difficult platforming. The sequel will bring new mechanics, abilities, and armor. Next up is a mobile game which is being ported to the Wii U titled Dark Day LA. In this two-player game, one player takes control of a vampire while the other plays as a sniper. The vampire needs to blend in the crowd and kill unsuspecting civilians, while the sniper must catch him before he reaches a certain count. And last on our list today is a game that's part 3D platforming and part simulation titled Ginger Beyond the Crystal on Wii U. In this title, you complete platforming challenges to collect resources and rebuild towns. As you build more buildings, your character gains more abilities to progress through the game. Alright, now we head on over to our enthusiast reviews, which were carefully prepared by our writers over at NintendoEnthusiast.com. Starting us off is Jonathan's review of The Swindle for the Wii U, which received a great score. The game was praised for its great gameplay, visuals, audio, and making you feel a genuine sense of stake. The game did suffer a few technical hiccups and occasionally unfair level generations. Then, Eric took on My Style Studio Notebook for the Wii U, which didn't fare so well. While he thought the game was fun for kids and had plenty of tools to experiment with, there's just not enough to hook you in. Scoring even lower at 4.5 was Starwall for the Wii U, which was reviewed by Akia. He thought the visuals were nice and the multiplayer offered a few laughs, but the purposefully broken controls are more frustrating than funny. He also felt the single player mode was a guide to an emotional breakdown and that the music was just obnoxious. And lastly, Jonathan also reviewed Voxel Maker, giving it a 6 out of 10. He felt the game offered plenty of options and was intuitive to use. On the negative side, he felt the display wasn't very appealing, that the game didn't have much to it, and that there are too few sharing options. Alright, thanks so much for joining me on today's show. Now remember, there's more ways to support indies other than just buying their games. We do offer t-shirts for select indie titles over in the Indie Corner store. You get a cool shirt design with your favorite indie game on it, and you get a cool patch of Indie Corner on the shirt. So you can see this one is not an Indie Corner shirt, but hey, maybe it will be someday. Head on over to chopshopgoods.com for that. We're gonna put the link somewhere down below so you can find it. Every shirt you buy that has an indie developer's game on it is $5 towards that indie developer. You can also, down in the comments below, let me know what shirts you guys wanna see in the Indie Corner shop. They are viewer driven, so whatever you guys wanna see will probably show up there if there's not some kind of crazy rule, legal issues that prevents me from doing it. So that's all the that's all the updates I have for you guys today. If you want more updates throughout the week, you can always head over to NintendoEnthusiast.com. You can always find us on Twitter, myself, Indie Corner, Nintendo Enthusiast, Twitter, Facebook, all that information is down below. I'll see you 2 weeks from now, and until then, keep on playing indie.